Burning Man is an experimental community in America that occurs for 1 week at the end of summer in the middle of a desert. Everyone's experience is unique. Some come here to share an artistic vision with open-minded people. Some want to explore their survival skills in the harsh desert climate. Some simply call it home. I came here to party!
Awesome party.
Las Vegas, Nevada.
Show me the stripper move. Yeah, yeah. Oh my god. Dude. I have no f***ing clue what's going on right now. This beautiful girl.
How you doing today?
If we get killed, someone will see this footage.
Have a good time.
Santa Barbara.
I went to Burning Man in 2012, and this is my romantic analysis. The first night was so amazing. I hit up a party with my campmates and ran into a girl named Andrea. After we got to know each other for a bit, she asked if I wanted to break away from everybody and explore some art. I said, heck yeah, let's do it. It was like a Wong-Kar-wai movie. We hopped onto art cars, toured all over the city, got lost, chatted about life. It was like a little date here on the playa. It was dope. It was awesome. Hey guys, my name is Eugene Baldovino, and I haven't been to Burning Man in almost 10 years. I decided to come out for some adventure. I've been spending 7 or so years working my tail off in Los Angeles, getting my career going that I hadn't really focused on life. And I thought this would be a place to get some adventure again. In 1 week here at Burning Man, I think I experienced more out of life than I did when I spent 1 year in New York City. I really came here on my own. All my friends bailed out on me from San Francisco and LA, but that didn't deter me. Luckily, at the last minute, I got hooked up with a camp. A relative of mine, Randy, he texted me. He told me that some of his buddies were going there too, and I should meet up with Marshall, Van Chow, and Javier, a really fun crew. I met up with them at Lake Titicaca. Those guys were from the Bay Area, and our neighbors within the camp were from Lake Tahoe. I truly loved it. They had a brilliantly designed shower system. If you're going to Burning Man, being able to shower every day is going to make your experience a lot more pleasant, especially before you go out at night and party. This place lights up at night and transforms into a neon city where art cars roam the desert and rock out their music. One of my favorite ones was the octopus that was shooting fire out. To me, that octopus was like the sun. When you look up in the sky and see all the stars at night, you have to be impressed that our sun is also a star, just like those many others that are far, far away. As you look all around you in Black Rock City, all those little lights in the distance are just like the stars above. We don't have the technology to travel to another solar system yet. But out here in Burning Man, you can travel to all sorts of alternate realities. One day I got caught up in this crazy dust storm trying to photograph Wall Street. I rode out into the middle of the playa and there was just like dust you can see in front of you. And all of a sudden, I see these two girls riding their bicycles half naked. They told me to follow them into the spiral arch structure. Obviously I did. As we got closer and closer to the center, I could have sworn only one of them came out and the other one disappeared in its vortex. I came back out of the spiral and of course, I was disoriented. I lost my sense of direction, completely puzzled. I kept hearing thumping music in the distance. And I was like, I'm not gonna stand here by myself in the middle of this dust storm because I might get hit by a mutant vehicle. So I pedaled my way to the music far off. As the sounds grew louder, the dust parted away to reveal all these stranded bikers. They're just just rocking out to this art car, giving us shelter from the dust storm. Once the desert cleared, everyone applauded and scattered away like little mice, leaving no trace of that secret dance party. It was one of those rare Burning Man moments. Last night I ran into a Japanese dude named June. He was the author of the Japanese Wikipedia page for Burning Man. June told us that Burning Man was just like Japan. Many big cities will have trash littering the streets, but even though this is a desert, there weren't garbage on the roads. It's a community effort to remove litter and leave no trace. I thought it was a really neat thing to learn that the mentality of Burning Man, it's the same with Japan. I thought I had a hard time driving up from LA all the way up to Nevada. It's incredible how Burning Man attracts people from all over the world. In the week before this event, I took a trip to an underground Burning Man pre-party in Santa Barbara.
I can't believe Eugene made it all the way up here because it was 4 miles of unpaved road and he didn't realize that, but after driving so far from LA, he was not to be discouraged. He wanted to party now, bitch.
This is how we party in Santa Barbara. Party with us.
Oh shit. I don't know if I can get it.
A house party was a place where people would just show up at a house and play music. So when in the living room on the hi-fi somebody was playing a record, and then in the back bedroom somebody's blasting something else on the stereo back there, and then out on the porch somebody's got a ghetto blaster blasting something else completely different. And when by pure love of music and chance those three pieces of music meet up in harmony, that's house music. And so techno and house music is the mixing up of all those things like a house, taking various elements, combining them into one thing that is less planned and more organic growth out of the love of a specific type of music. All these people hanging out together, these people like this, these people like this, these people like this, but they're all hanging out together, and as all the different sounds come into one, that makes the house music. To me, just my idea.
I love Santa Barbara.
Cheers. Cheers. I love Santa Barbara too.
Cheers.
The dopest party during the day was a camp called District. During the day, it gets to be about 90-something degrees. So everyone is dressed in minimal clothing, but with creative style. That place is awesome. And at night, it turns to about like, I don't know, 45 degrees freezing. But there's one spot that's a really awesome party. It's called the Opulent Temple. Oh shit. That place, I don't know what was going on, but that place had the fiercest crowd pumping DJs all night long.
Control your body.
Last night over at the Opulent Temple, I caught Crystal Method. I heard Daft Punk played somewhere on the playa one night. I missed that one. Oh. One of the coolest art cars that was busting out music was called Robot Heart. It had a great wall of thumping speakers.
Robot Heart was actually invented by this sound engineer from New York. So he basically engineered a new sound so that you could have 10,000 decibels, but still you won't have any ear damage from it.
It's really cold at night, like 45 degrees, which makes it ridiculous to sleep in your tent. So there's nothing better to do than just go out and dance your ass off till sunrise. It seems like I was here for 2 weeks because you come home at night at 6 a.m. and sleep for 5 hours, wake up and do whatever during the day, and you pass out again at like 6 p.m. for 2 hours and repeat the cycle day after day. Here's some advice after 4 or 5 days and get sober so you can really take things in on an intellectual level. I listen to a lot of indie rock and hip hop, but not so much techno, although dancing to it is fun. When I partied at Robot Heart the other night, all the way till sunrise, it was the first time I was struck with the power of techno. I'm not sure if I'm using the right genre, but I'm just calling it like techno. But techno with minimal lyrics.
So, here I am. Out on the planet, Burning Man.
I don't know if you've been around kids, but if you say the same thing over and over to them, they might not quite understand what you're saying, but they will. Pick up the pattern of words in your sentence. For example, you'll scream at them, "Read my lips!" And then all of a sudden they finish your sentence, "No new taxes!" They may not be cognizant of what they imitated, but if you say the same thing over and over to them, like a rule that you have, eventually, after experiencing repeating examples of that abstract idea, it'll make sense to them. It's this epiphany.
Here I am.
And the other night, going from, I don't know what it was, 2 a.m. all the way till 5:30 a.m. in the chilly desert dawn, trying to stay warm, and meeting up with friends, while I was falling in love with the beauty of strange, frozen bodies swaying to beats. I just had this revelation about the song. It wasn't like you were into the music, you know? The music opened up the universe in a new way as I kept hearing those abstract lyrics as time goes by. I was suddenly lost, thinking about loved ones who passed away, watching my niece and nephew growing up, wondering why I was here. Why I was like even born. And when I actually saw that sunrise looking at me like the eye of the universe, I really did feel time healing my soul and a rebirth in me. I've never had that experience before. I mean, I was sober too. That's something that you can't really get at like an LA or New York club. This is a desert. There's nothing but the remains of a prehistoric lake bed. The ground is alkaline dust. During the day, extreme heat bakes your body, and at night, the cold air chills your bones. So everything is heightened. Clubbing out here is more intense. Which means your fashion has to really function. So after that mind-blowing experience at Robot Heart seeing the sunrise, random moments came full circle. My buddy Marshall over at the camp told me to visit the temple, where people were scribbling down all their personal dark feelings, commemorations, regrets, that were to be set ablaze on the last day of Burning Man. I hopped over there. I don't know why I was still thinking of Andrea. I hadn't seen her in days. I decided to write her this note. Andrea, thank you for making my first night at Burning Man in 10 years a special one. When this temple burns, I hope the fire catches on to other people. We all come from the same star. It wasn't sex, it wasn't love. For me, it was rebirth. That's what I wrote down. I don't know why, but I was breaking down inside when I scribbled that down. I truly hope other people share the same positive experience that I did. Some of my campmates got kinda over it after a while. Their bikes got stolen. So things went downhill from there. Just like the executives in Wall Street, there is that 1% that isn't in harmony with society. Man, I heard this one story where this one guy was trying to get home drunk at 9 a.m. and some people on an art car offered him a ride. So he accepted the kind offer for a lift across the playa. Afterwards, the drivers asked, "Hey, in exchange for the ride, do you have any acid?" The guy didn't, but he told them he could find some. Well, when he returned, he gives them some acid, and all of a sudden they cuff him. They take him away.
I don't know if it was a true story, but I was like, wow.
They weren't rangers. They must have been.
They probably weren't, no.
They were probably law enforcement,
yeah.
like undercover.
Yeah,
I've heard that there's a lot of that out here too.
Oh, so explain the rangers. I have to say you work the ranger outfit. So what's the philosophy with the Rangers?
We try to diffuse situations. For example, when we come up on somebody that's unconscious, you know, we'll call medical. We have a really great relationship with BLM and with the sheriff's offices around it from the various counties, and it's because like they know we're out here trying to help people stay safe. If they've been warned twice,
right, that makes sense.
Get taken, but you know, we're there and we're not there to. We have no authority as far as arresting people or anything like that.
Right.
What's awesome when something major burns like the man, all the art cars come together. Earlier, I spoke about time passing. Well, imagine Burning Man 5,000 years from now in a Type 2 civilization in the Kardashev scale. Maybe mutant art cars won't be powered by non-renewable fossil fuels, but will be powered by energon cubes like the Transformers. What? The Burning Man event may be relocated far from Earth on another habitable planet. This Type 0 civilization footage you're watching now may appear ancient in the way we currently perceive cave drawings of the Paleolithic era of man. As you're watching my video, moments in time are unfolding. Because of technology, we can record experiences in real time. This documentation becomes history. All these moments you're watching unfold really exist all at the same time in this contained video clip. Let's do a thought experiment and imagine that we had a special remote-controlled camera that could travel backwards in time. We snap a picture that happened 1 second ago, then another 10 hours in the past, then a series of photos capturing moments of your life all the way to where you were 10 years ago. And then even further, we document every moment in your life to the point where your mother and father met and had you as a baby. As we send this time-traveling camera even deeper into the past to document ancient man who built the pyramids of Egypt, and then past the era in which dinosaurs roamed the earth, still snapping photos in sequence, all the way to the Big Bang of creation, we'll be able to line up all these progressing images into a stunning chart of evolution. It would probably look something like an anemone, where the body is the Big Bang, and its hundreds of tentacles are the many humans that are connected to each other in a chain reaction of events. This single visual of moments existing at the same time is what Grant Morrison calls the hyper-entity. The Burning Man community encourages radical self-expression. We're all individuals partying our faces off. But as a major art structure explodes into flames, the hyper-entity surfaces. Everyone forgets about individuality and merges into a single spirit. I heard a lot of people complaining out here that it was very corporate, but I completely disagree. We burned Wall Street out here.
Yeah, there's Wall Street. What? There's a Wall Street in Burning Man. What a great symbol. I came here from Australia. I fly to San Francisco, so I hitchhiked to Reno.
What did you pack with you when you came here?
I've got those 2 little backpacks.
That's it?
Yeah.
So no tent or anything? And
No, you know, my friends Sandra and Louis, we decided to have a look at Wall Street first, you know, first thing to do in the festival. And we thought, well, this is Wall Street, we can just occupy, you know. So the first night we took our sleeping bags, we slept on the second floor, we fell asleep straight away, and people woke us up, hey guys, we appreciate what you're doing, this is great, keep doing it, here's some water, here's some food, we're gonna come with you, spend some time with you. And we thought, wow, this is just ultimately cool.
I think people are confusing corporate with structured. There are definitely guidelines for behavior and a sense of organization, which is necessary for safety when there are nearly 50,000 people here. Having rules and limitations encourages more creativity. Nature often expresses a divine structure. The golden ratio can be found in many naturally occurring patterns. I interacted with like a gazillion people, but I think there were probably only a handful of people I really clicked with, you know? All the atoms in our bodies, from your friends to enemies to frenemies, were created in a star billions of years ago. We all come from the same source. As a fragment of that hyper-entity, some of us are on a tentacle that consists of its own peculiar moments, while more compatible people may be in harmony with our own branch of events. When you run into those people, yeah, that's a special thing. Oh man, the last time I was at Robo Hearts, I was so tired from partying every night. I just stumbled onto an art car and got inside and sat on this couch. And I want to say thank you to, I don't know who that girl was, but she just laid her head on my shoulder. Man, I felt the vibe there. It was really, really magical. Whoever you are, that really made my night that night. One of the last nights here, I had a hard time sleeping, and I don't know why, but I was thinking about my dad, so. So I just had to go to. I had to go to the temple and write him a note. Passed away when I was really young. I can't bring myself to repeat what I wrote down, but temple burning was, I wasn't expecting everyone else to be emotional too. Out of nowhere, an opera singer emerged on a rolling ship. I felt something deeper there than when the man burned, because I had something precious to contribute onto the temple, like everyone else.
I miss you, Sean.
If you listen closely, you can hear grown men and women crying. At that moment, I really wanted to tell my dad something. I hope my message turned into particles and was delivered back to the source. So, I came to Burning Man for adventure and I got a whole lot of that. I think if you come to Burning Man with expectations, you're probably going to be disappointed. It's like dating. You can't expect anything. You have to embrace the moment and be spontaneous with the person you're with, or creative with the community that you're a part of. If you come to Burning Man having created something, you'll have an instant audience. And it doesn't have to be an epic art car. It could simply be the way you decorate your bicycle with L-wire, or even the way you design your wardrobe. On my second day here, I got a fly name which was Beer in a Bag. That visual reminds me of like something that you'd find in a porta potty. All my campmates are gone, and I'm still here, man. The bartender over at Lake Titicaca gave me a proper playa name, which is Last Man Standing. I guess it's time to go home. Peace out.